Record. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning, Dr. Priscilla.
And how are you today?
Fine.
Great. Well, it's good to hear your voice, and it's great to begin the week with you. Today, this is an IELTS type question that students will be required to answer a question similar to this. Hypothetically, I don't know what questions you will be asked, but you could be hypothetically asked to answer this particular type question. When you get this type of question, the examiner will give you a card or something, or a sheet of paper, a pencil, and you will have 1 minute to make notes to answer. In our situation, we won't take the time to write anything. We'll just listen and read, then we will just talk. So you are going to describe an interesting job you would like to have. These are considerations. You will say what the job is, who normally does this job, what skills are needed for the job, and explain why you would like this job. Okay?
Okay.
When you're ready, you may start.
Oh, I am going to speak about the former job that I used to practice when I began my career, when I was very young.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And when I was young, after a school, a specialized school for EDF, which means Electricity of France, I began my career like a man who works outside on the wires we are on the pole along the road, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have problems and the wires break, and my job was to repair, to fix the wires. For that, we need to climb up to the top of the pole, and with some device,
Mm-hmm.
fix the wire and put it in place at the top of the pole. This kind of job was a difficult job that I practiced only at the beginning of my career. For 4 years, I was specialized for this kind of job. You need to practice in high position, so you don't need to be feared by the height, if you are sickness when you are at the top of the pole, it's not good. But it wasn't my case, and the difficulty of this job was particularly in the winter, because most of the break of the wires was in the winter when the snow fall on it.
Okay, that's 2 minutes. Thank you. There was one word that you pronounced, which is climb. Climb.
Climb.
You don't hear the B. It's climb. It sounds like an E. And you mentioned you don't need to be fear. You don't need to fear.
We don't need to fear of the height.
You don't need to fear the height. The height.
You don't need to fear the height.
Okay, and when you are sickness at the top of the pole, when you are sick or when you experience sickness, not you are sickness.
Yeah.
Okay. There were a lot of times when you talked about this situation and you would say, you should do, it's what because it is about you. I should, not you should. Do you understand?
Yes.
So many times you were answering, but you were answering as if it wasn't about you, but about someone else. That was very good. You were able to speak with stamina. You could speak easily beyond to
speak with stamina.
Stamina.
What does it mean?
having the capacity to go beyond the requirement, such as energy.
I can see your writing.
Is it too small or you just don't see it? Do you see the screen?
No, I see your screen, but I didn't see what you write.
Do you see now?
No.
Do you see the interesting job?
No.
Oh.
I see a page. Take a look at the simple task 2 questions.
Okay, maybe I'm not sharing my screen. So let me stop sharing and let me share again. And that's not it. Somewhere one, share. Do you see now? Climb.
No.
Okay, stop share. Share again. Now, do you see describe an interesting job?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
This time I can see it.
Okay. Climb. You don't need to be fear. And I was telling you that it's you don't need to fear. You should say you don't need to fear.
Ouais.
And I said fear. When you are sickness, when you are sickness, it's when you are sick.
When you are sick at the top of the pole.
Okay, when you are sick, you probably should not be at the top of the pole, I think is what you're saying. And I was saying that oftentimes you mention you, but the question is about yourself. So it should be, when I am sick, I should not go to the top of the pole. When I am, whatever you wanted to add, just remember it is about I, not you. Do you understand?
And stamina. Stamina having the capacity to go beyond the requirement, such energy. Okay.
Such as energy. So sometimes you mentioned earlier today that you mentioned you were doing something, but you were tired. So, and it's because you didn't have the energy. You didn't have the stamina.
Okay.
Okay. Do you understand stamina now?
Yes, I suppose we can say, I don't have the peps to make that. I don't have the stamina to make this action.
Yes.
No?
Yes, I don't have the stamina to ride the bike to the top of the hill today.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So you did a great job with that. So let's try again. This time, focus on saying I instead of you. So it's describe an interesting job you would like to have. You would like to have.
Okay.
And what the job is, who normally does the job. That's when you can talk about someone else. And what skills are needed for the job. All right. I'll be making notes down here, but don't pay attention to the notes that I'm making because I don't want you to stop talking. So you'll talk for 2 minutes. You may begin talking again. You may begin talking again.
The same exercise?
Yes. Would you like me to give you another one? I can give you a different one.
No. The same. Just 1 minute ago, I spoke about the first job I practiced when I was young. The first job I practiced when I was young was a difficult job because it was a job outside in all weather, particularly in winter. It was difficult to climb over the poles at the top of the pole and fix the wires. They are breaked by the snow or by the wind. And at this time, it was really difficult because the weather was very cold, and sometimes you spend hours at the top of the pole and you can't move your limbs easily. So it was a difficult job. I practiced this job only for years. After that, I continue my training and I could change the job and evaluate in some jobs as much interesting and less difficult to practice.
All right. Well, the goal is to speak for 2 minutes, but you must speak for 1 minute, and you spoke for 1 minute and 15 seconds. I think you were distracted by what I was typing because you wanted to see what it is and try to understand and thinking about what I'm typing. So this word outside, I don't know what you said, but it wasn't outside, but the word is outside. Climb actually sounds like C-L-I-M-E, climb, not climb. I climbed the pole. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you want to be sure that you pronounce the E
Climb.
and not the B, not climb. Climb.
Ah, climb. Okay, I misunderstood. I thought it was necessary to pronounce the B. Climb, not pronounce the B. Climb.
Yes, it's climb, but it's spelled C-L-I-M-B.
Okay.
You said they are break by snow or wind. I think we're talking about some string or wire. Okay?
Yes, that's
But
right.
they are break. It's not that they are break. It is more like it's more something like the wire breaks. The wire breaks due to the snow.
Due to the snow or the wind. Okay.
And you remember I said you, it should be I.
Yeah. I spend hours. Okay.
I spend, but you could say a person, you could say a person could spend hours. Okay.
Spend hours. Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. And this word continue, it's continued.
But could spend, it's not a T instead of a D, could spend.
Well, yes, but the word is, I think it's spend, spent.
Yes.
Spend. I think it's that. Spend, spent, and spent.
Okay.
Past tense is spent.
Spent. And could spend or could spend? Could spend.
A person could spend because
okay.
it's
I always made the mistake.
Okay. But if a person has spent in the past tense,
okay.
A person has spent a lot of money or spent a lot of time climbing if he has bruised B-R-U-I hands. Okay. Has makes it past tense. Has.
What does he mean? A person has spent a lot of time climbing if he has bruised hands.
What is this word? What is this word?
Bruised hands.
What is this word?
Climbing.
No, climb. E.
Climbing.
Okay, bruised hands is like your hands, your knuckles, bruised hands. When you're climbing the rope or the pole, your hand get callousy and damaged and hurt.
Okay. Your hands are hurt by the pressure on the rocks.
Yes. Usually you would probably wear gloves, I guess.
Okay.
Usually a person would wear gloves to protect their hand.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, that person will use gloves to protect their hands from bruising. All right, so that would be one. All right, let's just do one more, and that will be the end for today. See, where is that one that we get that one from? All right, so here is the next one that we will do. Here's that hypothetical.
What?
I'm going to show you in just a moment. Go back to, okay. Do you see my new card, hypothetical
Yes.
situation?
Okay, describe a beautiful place in your country that you would like to visit. You should say where it is. Who would you go with? When would you go? Oh, I would like to visit Torino in Italy with a couple of friends. Normally, we had the intent to go in October. Normally, we must be 3 couples to visit Torino, which is a city that I know very well and that I like. Unfortunately, due to my health, we couldn't do that this month. And I hope that we could do that perhaps in the spring of 2019. Torino is a very beautiful place because it has a lot of museum, a great architecture, and I love the Italian people who usually are very friendly and speak French easily. They are much gifted than us to practice a language. Torino is a city of about 1 million of inhabitants. There's a lot of park in it, a lot of museum, a lot of square with beautiful statues and a lot of history, because it was the capital of a small realm in the 18th century, which was called the Royaume of Savoy. I like the story of Torino.
Okay, let's stop there. There you again displayed a huge amount of stamina, and you were able to speak for the 2 minutes. I'm going to share with you now areas. You said couple of friends. You said couple of friends. Couple of friends. You need to have the S on friends. Do you remember saying something about a couple of friends?
Okay.
We must be 3 couple. We must be 3 couple. We must be a couple of 3. I don't know if you said 3 couple or 3 people, but it's still, you need to have the word a.
I would say that we were 3 real couple. A wife, a husband is a couple.
Okay, I wasn't sure what you said. I know you said couple or you said people, but this really isn't that important. What was important is that we must be 3. We must be a couple of 3. You did not say a, you said we must be couple of 3. Okay, this is what you said. We must be couple of 3. Do you understand?
We must be 3 couples.
Okay, but that's not what you said. You said we must be couple of 3.
Ah, okay.
And then if you want to say, you'll have to say, there must be a couple of 3 to participate. Something like that. You still need to have the A.
Okay.
You said has a lot of museum.
Mm-hmm.
Lot is plural, so we must have an S on museums.
Museums. Okay.
This word is pronounced us.
Okay.
Can you pronounce this word?
Has a lot of museums.
Okay, this one.
Us. Us. With us.
Yes, the word is us.
Us.
Okay. All right. And 1 million inhabitants. 1 million. You don't need the word of. 1 million.
1 million inhabitants. Okay.
And then I'm not sure what this was, but a lot of square.
Squares. With a S perhaps.
A lot of squares. What was it that you were saying? Something has a lot of square.
Many squares.
What is that? What's a square?
A square is a place in a big city where you can find a statue, where you can find shops, where you can find beautiful flowers.
Okay, so there are a lot of squares. So what was needed here is an S.
Okay.
So you need to have an S on squares. All right, so it would read, there are a lot of squares, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, that takes care of our lesson for today. And this is one of the problems that the English language learner faces when taking the IELTS exam. They must answer with stamina. Their answers must be fluid or speaking with fluency, clear, concise, and to the point. That's what's required.
Okay.
All right. Any questions about today's lesson?
No, thank you, Priscilla.
Okay. Well, you would do well on the exam. I know you would have at least a 7, even with the miscues, with the omission of the plural sound. You would do great. All right. I'm going to